Hello, everybody, and welcome to MangaPod. I'm Dodger.
I'm Lou.
I'm Moeka. Sorry, it doubled.
It's all good.
Audio doubled.
It's all good. I heard something happen twice. I didn't know it was me. And our lovely guest.
And I'm Lawrence. Hello.
Yay! Hi, everybody. This is MangaPod. We're a weekly podcast in which we all get together after we have read all or part of a manga, and then we discuss it with friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. Today, we are discussing Jujutsu Kaisen, chapters 1 through 34. We are missing our beloved leader, Erin. She has had something very important family-related to be at, so we are plugging away in her absence. Be sure to send her some love. But the way that this whole thing goes down is we'll start you off with a spoiler-free description, aka a summary. And in a lovely rare show of form, we have a guest today, which is so exciting. And our lovely guest has agreed to read the summary for us. And then we're going to go one at a time and tell you whether or not we think that you should take the time to read this manga. Again, in a spoiler-free fashion, how we felt about it, basically. And then we'll go into spoiler section and get into the nitty-gritty. So, if y'all are ready, Lawrence, you can take it away.
All right, my pleasure. So, Jujutsu Kaisen. In a world where cursed spirits feed on unsuspecting humans, fragments of the legendary and feared demon, Ryomen Sukuna, were lost and scattered about. Should any demon consume Sukuna's body parts, the power they gain would destroy the world as we know it. Fortunately, there exists a mysterious school of Jujutsu sorcerers who exist to protect the precarious existence of the living from the supernatural.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, that was much more succinct. Yeah. I'm glad we went with that. Yeah. So now we're gonna say how we felt about it. Do we think people should read it? Who would like to go first?
I'll go ahead and I'll go first.
Yeah, do it.
So, I thought this was really fun. The action is really well done. The framework for a really compelling story is there. I genuinely enjoyed every bit of reading the manga, and it basically flew by for me. And there's just so much I want to say, but it's all spoilery, so that's it. It's just really good. It's really good. It lives up to the hype. Read the manga.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I think that I really enjoyed reading it, and I definitely want to read more. And I always love like a battle shonen anything. And I felt like this hit more of like the grittier notes than I think people were maybe expecting when reading it. So perfect for spoopy season. I'm curious like how it's going to progress for sure, but what we've read of it, I really enjoyed. So, yeah, I would recommend it for sure.
I will go next. It was a little bit slow of a start, but once I got really into it, I like the chapters breezed by, and I'm like, all right. Damn, what's going on? And then I got really attached to a character. I'm not gonna say what happened, but now I'm just like, damn. So I do recommend it, especially if you're like, dang, I need a shonen with lots of good fights. I thought I really liked the fights. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to spoil nothing.
Lawrence, do you recommend?
Yes, I recommend it, and not just because I help market it, but I do recommend it. I feel like it has a lot of elements that I like. The kind of curse system feels kind of similar to like that in Madoka, where like people are having mysterious deaths because of like bad energy. So I kind of like that energy to it. And also, it's just like the fights are really sick and the characters are really good. I love them all. They're all children and they're my children.
I love, yes. Well, not my children, because some of them I want to husbando. So
Right.
Yeah, it can work both ways.
Cool. Yeah.
Also, yeah. Sorry, I was gonna say, for those that don't know, Lawrence does marketing for Viz Media. So, yay! Thank you for
Yay.
joining us.
Ooh, of course, my pleasure.
Awesome. Hell yeah. We all recommend it. We all think it's fun. And maybe a little dark. So, if you would like to read that, awesome. And I would say, if this sounds up your alley and you don't want to be spoiled, now would be the time that you got to go. Sorry, I don't want you to leave, but we're gonna talk about everything that happened, chapters 1 through 34. For clarity, though, anything beyond chapter 34 is off limits. Please do not talk about it in chat. We don't want to know. We don't want to be spoilsied, and we don't want people in chat to be spoilsied. So that is the window that we are discussing. We're going to go into spoiler section now, and this is your last chance to peace out if you don't want to know what happens in these chapters. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Gojo
is God. Yeah,
Yeah, Gojo.
obviously.
So
Sorry.
I kind of just want to just chime in with something like that immediately occurred to me as I started reading this.
Yeah.
In terms of who our main boy Yuji reminds me of as a protagonist, definitely get Ichigo vibes.
Yep.
But
100%.
also Yusuke Urameshi vibes, in the sense that both very powerful characters before their like spiritual abilities or whatever awaken.
I think there are
And,
lots of Bleach vibes in this in general.
Definitely. So I just needed to get that out there because I was afraid of forgetting, of pointing that out. So like there is definitely a through line with other manga in this genre. So
Yeah, I mean,
He's a lot like Gon too.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very like, they even point this
Earnest.
out at the start, right? He's a very I'm gonna do what I want to do in the moment and then think about it later kind of person, which is the perfect cocktail for a battle protagonist. So normally we start off with what we were expecting when reading the manga, so I can go first if you would like.
go for it.
I don't know why. Some of the things that were a bit more tropey, like, oh, there's a school that literally all of us go to, and oh, we're going to go into an arc that's like the schools fighting each other. Like those sorts of really like standard story beats inside of a manga like this. I didn't expect those to happen because I had been told that it is a bit darker. And so once I started reading it and realized it was like, oh, there's some like weird body horror elements to this, and like we're talking about like the repercussions of death really early on. For some reason, I didn't think we were also going to have moments that are like, but everybody's at school. But I guess there's only 3 of them, so it still doesn't feel the same. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll add on to that. Going into this manga, I've heard a lot of good things about this manga for a while, but I never really looked into it. So I kind of went into it blind, and the only things that I specifically heard were that the art was pretty good, and like in terms of how it conveyed action, and that just it was a standard battle shonen, but executed very well, and it was geared towards a slightly older audience. So some battle shonen tend to be aiming that, that 12 to 14. This is like the 15 to 17 demographic.
Yeah, I would say it's not as like cut yourself on your own edge as like Chainsaw Man.
Yes.
But it's also not kiddie at all. It's like in the middle there where things happen occasionally and you're like, that's fucked up. That was really fucked up. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Oh, the other thing I didn't expect, which is one of my absolute favorite tropes in the world, is super duper powerful thing is trapped inside of something else, which I adore. So the second that they were like, oh no, now you got this really powerful curse who's kind of a shithead stuck in you and he's probably going to pop out occasionally and kill people, I was like, yes! Yes, I love that shit. So that was a pleasant surprise for me. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say the protagonist, I wasn't expecting to have so many elements from other like shonen protags. Because the whole like, oh, he has a thing inside of him reminded me of Naruto. And so it's just, man, I don't know why, but it all works. And I'm super into it. And basically everything else that Dodger said.
Yeah, it gives like big Yu-Gi-Oh vibes with like Yami Yugi inside of him is like Sukuna or like Hikaru no Go. It's like I love the trope of like a spirit who's great at everything who can just take over when the protagonist just kind of is not so great at things. This happens a lot in this manga.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The thing that's interesting about this one is like I think there's an expectation in a lot of manga like this, where there's like normal person with powerful thing inside of them. There's an expectation of, oh, they might start off shitty now, but over time they'll probably be allies. They've established very strongly that this thing is evil, like very evil, very monstrous. And part of me is like, I don't think I want them to. Like, I think it's more interesting if they never are, but I don't know.
I'm kind of like leaning towards this is going to end up like later. This is me projecting, probably not has happened and won't happen, but they'll do that whole, they separate into two different entities. Like that one little bit that we saw inside, when after his heart got ripped out. That
was very Naruto. That was very Naruto talking to Kyuubi.
Yeah, that was very Naruto, man.
So many parallels here.
Or Bleach, Ichigo and Zangetsu.
Or Bleach, that's true.
Very good, yeah.
There's nothing new under the sun, guys.
Yeah, but I like it.
I know, I liked it too.
Pick me.
I liked it a lot. Yeah, so we've got this sweet boy who just happens to be very athletic and strong, who loves his grandpa a whole lot. Eats a finger, becomes a half curse, half person, and is told, your normal life ends now. We're going to kill you one day, but in the meantime, you're going to school. Perfect. So what did you guys think about the other two, like, first years? We got dude who summons spirits, and then we got hammer chick.
Country bumpkin that doesn't want to be country bumpkin.
Yeah.
And is trying to get recruited by the model.
I want to see her fight more, though. Her, like, hammer and nails shit was sick. And we got to see, like, a split second of it. And then everything else was, like, a goof with her.
I really like her. And I find her really endearing because I feel the whole, like, damn, country bumpkin, but I want to be one. I want to be one. So I'm glad that she's like really smart, and even by their standards, she's like the stuff she goes for is really fucking psycho.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate that we haven't had a whole lot of time with her.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to spending more time like getting to know that character in later parts of the reading. But I did enjoy the time that we did get to spend with her. I think that little introduction of her just immediately going after the talent scout and like getting up in his face about trying to no, you need to recruit me. I'm here. Like, right, you want to recruit me. I think that set the tone for who she is as a person, and as a nice sort of contrast to that what ended up happening in her fight against that curse, where she ended up surrendering her weapons. So I really like her. Megumi, I think, is, I mean, he kind of gives off the, he would be the Sasuke vibes, but he's already like significantly weaker than a lot of the other people that we've met. So I'm not entirely sure like what his place in the manga is.
I'm so curious. Well, we know that Sukuna is interested in him, but I don't think it was clear why. Was that made clear at all?
I don't think so. Not yet.
Yeah, I think it's been pretty vague. I'm assuming it's because he can summon those creatures.
Right.
But other than that,
they kind of alluded he can summon something crazy because we see him like reach into the ground at one point and he doesn't like go through with it. So we don't know what he can summon like completely. We just know it's like frogs, like woodland creatures, so forth.
But the implication is he can potentially summon like a curse to fight for him, correct?
It's kind of there, looming.
Right. Which is cool. Yeah. I look, the second he summoned a dog, I was like, great.
Summoned 2 dogs.
Great. He brings dogs and frogs and owls and all kinds of shit. Love it.
Again, very Naruto. Summoning frogs and summoning dogs.
Absolutely.
You can like pulverize them and like combine them into frogs with wings and stuff.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
I didn't expect that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then we have Goto, who we've established as the god of this manga. I was very shocked that we saw his eyeballs so early on.
Yeah,
I thought this was going to be a Kakashi situation. Woo! We were just not going to see them for a very long time, and then he was going to be like, "Guess what, motherfuckers? I don't even have eyeballs." Like, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, I love Gojo. I definitely, once he took that blindfold off, I was just like, "Oh my god, this man gonna be my husbando." Look. Sorry, excuse me while I settle down.
It's all good. They haven't really made it clear what it is that he does at the school, if he does anything. Right? Like, is he supposed to be their advisor?
Really no, I think he's just super powerful, and so they're like, you're too useless for us to actually be anything in our system. Other than like who we put out in the front line, because you're just that strong,
right? But I mean, like in terms of the school, like he obviously like goes out and does like exorcism jobs, right? But like why he's involved with the school at all, I don't think was ever made clear, or if he's involved with the school, like in any actual capacity. Like
I think the rationalization for him being there is just the fact that the school itself works as a hub for the jujutsus.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I think
his excuse for being there while not necessarily being an educator, because that wouldn't line up with his character.
Right.
Yeah, I think they kind of touched on it too when he was talking to the school's head, the old dude, that he's really not there for the system because he doesn't think that it the way they're set up doesn't actually work correctly. And so he's basically only there to scout people that he sees potential in and that no one else does.
Right.
Which is why he's pulling so much for
he's like, the people at the top suck. We need good people coming up. All right.
Yeah, which is why he was like really trying to save Yuji.
Yeah. That whole scene was so chill when he just sat up after being dead.
Oh my god, yes.
Like he's literally been dead long enough that they've brought him in, put him on a gurney, given him to this lady to cut open, and then he sits up and Gojo's like, "Nice, welcome back," and they high five, and that's it. That's the end of the scene. And I was like,
Or,
he's not even surprised that this kid is alive.
I was gonna say, I really liked how they told the other first years that he was alive. That he just gets wheeled out in a cart and just jumps out of the box.
They were
fucking
so
box,
pissed
like
about
a cake surprise. Holy shit.
They were so mad. And then they made him hold the little like funeral frame on his face. It was so silly. I also didn't realize, I forgot that he had never met the upperclassmen. So that was very funny to have him sitting there and the panda starts talking. He's like, the panda can talk. And then the other kid is like, fish, fish, tofu, tofu. And he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Oh, shit.
I love them. They're a wacky bunch.
Yeah, I think it is gonna be fun. And then we got all these kids from Kyoto happening.
Yes, I believe.
Man.
It's like Mai and Toto, right? I like the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
two that we meet from Kyoto.
Right.
Yeah, towards the end, we definitely started meeting a lot more.
Oh, they throw a whole new cast at us, pretty much.
Yeah. That's because it's the Chunin exam arc, guys.
Yeah. Toto as a character is he's funny, like being the overpowered person from the other school, but also having that weird quirk of being obsessed with pop idols. And
Oh my God,
also,
he's an idol head.
what is your taste in women?
Oh my God. And he's like, you just need to not be boring. You can even say that your taste is dudes. I don't care. Just say something not boring. And he's like, I just want someone who's compassionate. It's like, no,
Man, no.
boo.
I have to confess, because we end on a cliffhanger of not knowing what Yuji's into. So I read the first couple pages of the next chapter. And I'm not gonna spoil it.
It's
But
so
it's
good.
It's so good.
I did not read ahead, but now
It's
I
a
really want
current
to.
celebrity.
Wait.
Yeah, oh my God, can we talk? Yeah, we can
He
talk
already-
about
he
that.
already
He
said-
said the Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, he said Jennifer Lawrence earlier on in the manga.
Yes.
Which that was another thing I was not expecting, was like, wait, that's like a current celebrity.
That's an actual person.
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I can't remember what the context was for him to bring that up earlier on, though.
Toto? I think it was
No,
outlining a
no,
or Yuji saying that.
Yuji said Jennifer Lawrence earlier on in the manga, and I can't remember why, but doesn't matter.
I think it's because at the beginning he was just like, I like girls like Jennifer Lawrence, and then he was like putting up a girls poster or something, who I'm assuming was like a Jennifer Lawrence. So I don't know. My dude knows what he likes.
Yeah, respect.
Mechanically, the whole idea of them being able to make, I can't remember what they called them. They're like worlds that trap people. What are those called in this?
The domains.
Yeah. The mechanic of like, I can make a domain, and if you're in my domain and you try to make a domain and your domain is better, then you win, right? Them revealing that the big flaw in this is that you can literally just punch into it. I was like, oh, okay. I guess the explanation, right, was you don't like, you would have to be really confident that you could beat this person's domain in order to want to even be in there. But like, could you just open it and not go in and just like fracture it a bit? Or
I don't know. I think it's totally dependent on who makes the domain, because in this specific case, he was reinforcing it from the inside. So if it could be that in the future, maybe it's the opposite. Someone can reinforce it from the outside. But if they trap someone inside of it, they could just break out because it's reinforced from the outside. So I think it's just totally
Right.
dependent on how it's built.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I'm also assuming that because they talked about stability, so maybe if they fractured it a little bit and it wasn't stable, it would like do crazy shit, like either pull people in or like pull out weird, crazy summons or something. So I think it's kind of like, well, roll your die and hope that you have a good outcome.
Right. So the 3 curses that like kind of behave more like humans are earth, water. What was the last one? They're like curses based on the fear that people have of the natural elements, right? So it was Earth, who was the Mount Fuji dude, and then oh god.
Because there was
What's the third one?
that curse that that manipulates human anatomy,
Shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
which isn't really
shape.
Well,
based on that.
the guy that they fought against the most near the end there. He was humans afraid of humans,
Yes.
right? That was his curse.
It's his element.
Which I thought was weird because they said that he was a baby, like he was a new curse that was just growing really fast. And I was like, but people have been afraid of people forever. So where are the other people v people curses?
Not strong enough, obviously.
Or maybe they've already been eliminated.
Seal.
I would
Maybe
imagine that the fears,
they just
that
get
the fears don't
exercised
go
quickly,
away.
typically. Hold
So
on.
yeah,
This is bothering
the
me, so I'm
fears
going to
don't-
go back and find those other curses. Keep going.
I was gonna say that it makes sense that curses surrounding these fears, which are kind of primal, would constantly be reborn after they were exercised, as that fear begins to compound again. So yeah, it could be that other versions of the people afraid of people curse manifest and have been defeated at different points.
Right.
Are they
Yeah,
like,
also,
no, go.
oh, no, you can go. It's fine.
No, I was just like wondering if like is Sukuna's greed is like, what is it, special, right? And then
Yes.
I think they said like the more elemental ones had like a different greed. Something that's like manifested. It's like things that are manifested by like human like thoughts, or they're kind of like fictitious thoughts come to life as spirits or something.
Right.
It was a lot of detail into like their grading system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't fully caught.
Well, it feels kind of like, God, we just keep like making this like other manga, but I thought it was it was supposed to be kind of like an Attack on Titan, how it's like, here are the Titans that we can grade, that we understand, and then here are the ones that we don't really understand. And special grade to me read as like, these are curses that can do things that might be unexpected, and so we have to treat them more cautiously.
The only thing that kind of bothers me with those types of grading systems, which was kind of alluded to when they went into the prison or the juvenile detention center, was that at the top end of the scale, there can be so much variety that you can have 2 special grades that are in completely different classes.
Right.
So that's the one like kind of issue that I have with that like classifying them like that. But I guess it's good for adding context for who should, in theory, win a fight against one curse or another. Which the rating systems for the Jujutsu, that one I kind of like, because how it measures up how there's parallel structures for like what the rank of a Jujutsu as it compares to different curses.
Earth, forest, and sea.
You did it.
I
We
found
did it.
them.
You're so clutch, Dodger.
Earth, forest, and sea. Yeah, the Mount Fuji dude is Earth. The tall one that speaks directly into your brain is forest, and we haven't met sea yet, I don't think.
Were we in like the sea domain when we were at that beach and we saw like an eyeball in the water?
Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe that. I don't know. I don't remember. I think we see like an eyeball in the water, so I'm gonna assume that they're like really big or something.
Yeah, I do like how, like, visually the way that the techniques and things that they're using are involved. And I like that just by virtue of Yuji having this curse inside of him, he isn't automatically able to use technique, but does now naturally have like curse power in his body. Like, that made sense to me. If he suddenly could do a bunch of shit that he wasn't ever able to do, it would be a bit too OP, I think. So to have it be like, you've always been strong, it's just that now you can put a little like curse power behind it. Yeah.
Put that oomph into it.
Yeah, you know. Do you guys want to talk about art?
Sure.
Yeah, we can.
So
I liked it.
yeah, it's good. So I kind of, in my spoiler-free recommendation, alluded to this, but the manga does a really good job of conveying motion, and specifically in its action sequences, and that's something that not a lot of action or battle manga get right. And it for me, it's kind of a marker for a mangaka that has really thought of the mechanics in their fights, in terms of like the geography of the fighting, and keeping it looking interesting, and the way these power systems have been incorporated into the manga, I think is also extremely well done, and how that's being conveyed through the art. I like all the character designs, and yeah, it's while it's not like extremely polished art, in terms of art as a storytelling device, it's extremely effective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
Go for it.
can go first if you want. Okay, I was gonna just say, I thought I think the characters with lighter hair, sometimes the very fine lines make it really hard to look at them, because
That's not what I expected you to say.
Oh, yeah, it's really weird, because sometimes if it's like a bunch of characters with light hair in the panels, my ability to read the scene becomes a lot more difficult, just because there's so many fine lines, and if there is no contrast going on, it's just my brain cannot keep up for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I do like the art style. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to find him. This fucking dude, who I actually loved, but this dude.
Yes! Oh my god, I love him too!
I love him
He's
too.
so good.
But like, I totally agree with you, and I remember thinking this now that you're saying this, but like, he almost felt like there was way less detail to him than to everything else that was going on, because like where he was fighting and what he was doing was always very dark, and he's basically entirely just like outline, because there's no like shading. His hair is just like white, maybe, we don't know. So yeah, he like stood out as feeling like he had less detail, even though he didn't really. So
yeah,
that.
It's really weird, and I think it's because of how thin the lines can get, and so the characters with darker hair, that kind of goes away because the lines disappear and it just gets filled in with all black. So I don't know, man. It's
yeah,
weird
office worker
sometimes.
dude. chat to those of you who are asking.
Nami, yeah.
Yeah, I loved him. The scene with the bread girl was very cute.
The bakery. Yeah.
Yeah. We went in there every day and could totally see that there was a curse on her and was finally just like,
Okay, I'll do my job.
fine, I'll get rid of the curse. Fuck. I guess I want my life to have meaning and not just be about money.
Again, you know, like, hate to draw parallels to other manga, but it's so easy with this manga.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of the rules system in Hunter x Hunter for Nen. So like Kurapika establishing rules on his Nen to strengthen his Nen, and the same thing kind of applying for office worker dude, whose name I can't remember for the life of
Nanami.
me.
Yeah.
Nanami. Yeah, Nanami.
Yeah, I also like that. I mean, we're starting off with not that many like classmates, and I like that right off the bat, like one of the upperclassmen, they're like, she can use weapons really well, but she doesn't. What was it that she can't do? She can't do technique, or she.
Yeah, she can't see them, so she wears the glasses.
Right.
And she can't use curse technique or energy. So she can only use weapons imbued with curse.
Right. Is the implication that her family is like a family of exorcists, and so she's still going there even though she probably wouldn't have been scouted with that level of ability? Like, she wouldn't have had access to these weapons and things to even establish she's good at that unless...
Yeah, I think that's what they're alluding to, is that they're a part of like the big three in their system, where their whole families have been like exorcist, which I think is neat, and I like Maki for that, because her sister kind of a bitch about the whole thing. I'm just like, girl, back off.
I think she's one of my faves so far. Yeah. But I'm excited to have more opportunities to watch them all like really fight each other, which I know, look, I fall right for it. I fall right for all of these traps. I'm like, oh man, we're going to have the arc where all of the kids fight each other. But, you know, and I can complain about that, but deep down I'm like, I can't wait. I can't wait for all these kids to go all out and beat the shit out of each other. I can't wait.
Want to see what the panda can do, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets good.
Yeah, what's up with the panda?
Panda has a lot of cool abilities that you'll see later.
Oh my god!
That I won't talk about because it's not here in these first 34. Panda is like the powerhouse of the group,
right?
In terms of like sheer raw strength, and you see that I think when they punch. Oh my god, the Kyoto student, what was it? Toto, thank you. Yeah. And Toto is like just a piece of meat, is like all muscle.
Right, he's just a big
like,
stacked.
Fucking muscle brain idle head.
Yeah. Ah, man.
Oh, sorry. Going back to the grade system.
Yeah.
I remembered what it was. It wasn't based on like the curse's abilities. It was how effective weapons would be against them. So like the bottom tier can be taken out easily with just a wooden bat.
I thought that was just to make it accessible. I didn't think that was literal. Is it literal? From what I don't remember them like going further into it really. So that's that's what I'm like interested in. Yeah,
right. Easy to understand. So they were like, okay, a special grade is like carpet bombed, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
I thought that it was just to make it so that Yuji would understand like the level of force necessarily. Like I didn't think that it was actual weapons, but I don't know. I would have to go back and reread it.
Yeah, no, I think it's easy, like these can be taken out in like with these weapons sort of thing. Which I guess is why thinking back to the like to Nobara. What was her other name? Kugisaki?
Kugisaki? Yes.
Kugisaki? Yeah. I guess that's why the nails and such. It makes me wonder if they're gonna go further into the grade system or if it really is just that.
Yeah. Regardless, though, whatever weapon is used against the curse has to be imbued with curse energy. So, I think that's like the one caveat for all of this.
Right.
And I'm wondering, like, how much of the damage that is inflicted on curses comes from just the force applied to it, and how much is from an overwhelming amount of curse energy. You get me? So, are we gonna have a point where Yuji has full control of his curse energy, puts his hand on someone, and blows them to pieces without applying any force?
Oh my
pure
God.
energy.
Yeah, and because it makes me wonder too because Mai used a gun, and so I'm assuming that she imbues the bullets, and it makes sense why it would be more powerful because it's like when you think of a gun, it's like you're applying so much force to a tiny little piece that when you get hit by it, it fucking hurts like hell. So that's why I'm really interested in this whole system.
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like the office worker's role, the Nami, was like to kind of show you that curse energy can even make like a dull nothing sword like, cleave a really powerful curse in half.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then our main character, Yuji's like punching things with like a non-weapon, a fist, right? And like making mega curses bleed when they're not supposed to. So I don't know if it's like a weapon parallel, but maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll see that with like the sisters because they seem to be all about weapons and they're cited as being like super strong.
Right. I like that you're saying maybe, even though you've let us know that you've read beyond where we read. Maybe if you read a little bit further, you'll get your answers.
Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing like what's more like metaphorical and what's more like, oh, this is like literally how it works sort of thing.
Right.
It's a fun, neat system they have going on right now.
Yeah. And they also the thing that I keep wondering if they're gonna talk about a bit more is at the very beginning of the manga, they explained that like a cursed object for a certain amount of time repels other curses. But if it's left alone to just like mature and fester, then it starts consuming curses. And I'm unclear whether or not that applies to weapons and things, like these things that they're using, or if it's that they are... I'm trying to think of how to put this. Like, obviously, in some situations, they're being given a knife and then going, cool, I put some of my curse vibe into this knife, and then it's a cursed knife. But, like, are some of these weapons pre-cursed? Do they come with a curse, you know? And is that safe to use or not? Like, that kind of stuff. I don't know if they've really, like, discussed that, or if that's like, a little too muddy to really get into, but... yeah. That's the other thing that I'm wondering.
The only curse thing we see is like the finger, right? So it's
like
a body part of a curse. So
right.
I don't know that we've seen in
a curse that used to be human though.
Other curse. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know that we've seen any other like pieces, right? Or if they're weapons. Yeah. I don't think that's been explored enough. You're right.
Yeah.
Wow. Which I guess is a good way to start talking about mojito, which makes me think of mojito.
the human v human curse? Is that mojito?
Yes.
Yeah. The body horror
our
curse.
main other antagonist.
Yeah. He sucks. I was hoping they weren't going to kill him, though. And they didn't, so. Nothing? No follow-up? No other feelings.
In terms
Well,
of
it's like he's
the
a
art,
person.
you're really getting like
Yeah.
some of the coolest art is like from how he is transforming the bodies. I
Yes,
think
I agree.
like what they did to poor Junpei, turning him into like a weird frog like thing.
Yeah.
Like towards the end of where we read, very creepy and like really cool. Or like the kids in the movie theater where they're like pulled up. I don't know. It's just really cool to me and like a very Kafka.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Mhm.
really liked the way that the bodies were morphed as well. I guess that's the best word.
Mhm.
And also the discussion with the kid about like nobody has a heart, they have a soul, and technically you can do whatever you want, like that kind of a thing, and how that kid was like, yeah, that totally makes sense. I was like, no.
Well, I think that's like his whole. Yeah, I thought, man, that Junpei, my boy, I fell in love with him. I was like, my sweet boy, maybe he could be a part of the group.
I know, dude.
And then they just fucking said, Moeka, fuck you, get out of here. And then they murdered
Your feelings
him.
mean nothing, Moeka. He's a frog
They
now.
do. And
I
they
felt
fed the
bad for
darkness
his
in
mom.
Yeah, Mojito fed the darkness in my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that they left him alive because they did have that whole discussion of like he's a baby curse and he's growing fast. And I was like, they can't get rid of him because now there's intrigue. Like, how bad is he going to get? You know? Because at this point, he definitely has this sort of childlike vibe of like playing around with things.
Yes.
And if he's growing and maturing fast, like I want to know what that means in terms of a curse. Like next time that we see him, will he be different or not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's, man, his whole thing about how he's like trying to make it so cursed spirits are at the top. I'm just like, damn, I kind of want to. Look, it's bad. I get it. It's bad, but I do want to see it.
Yeah, all the antagonists like really set themselves as like potential main bad guys against Yuji. Because they all want to challenge that power that he has inside of him, you know.
But at the same time, like, yeah, that's right. There was that whole convo inside of the domain, right? Where they were all like, so wait, what we should do is just feed him the fingers, right? Like, it's fine if we all die, because if we can release this curse and have him take over, the like age of curses will 100% begin because he's too fucking powerful. So I thought that was an interesting place that we went there with their line of thinking. Like, it's fine if we die. Let's just find all of the fingers for this guy and just keep feeding them to this kid. It's like, did not expect that to be the direction they were going to go.
Mm-hmm.
They're like trying to rework the vow that he set up, right?
Well, they don't think
that
he's
Yuji
done a
doesn't
vow.
remember.
Yeah.
I don't think that we even know if the vow is, if there is one, but I know that they want him to have a strict one or something.
Well, he did agree. No, he didn't, did he? That was a trick. We don't know if he agreed to a vow.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
Well,
He said
yeah,
that he
so-
forgot their conversation, and a condition
That was a
of their-
condition. Yeah.
was that he would forget, but we don't know
Yeah,
what
well,
he forgot.
and then, but yeah, afterwards, he was just like, no, that's stupid. I don't want any condition. And so Sakuna was like, okay, let's do a 1v1. If I win,
That's right.
we have to do the vow with my condition. If you win, then
That's
there
right,
is no
that's right,
condition.
that's right. So,
and
yeah.
then he insta fucking killed him.
And he woke up
And
with
so-
his heart regen and doesn't remember having that conversation. So yeah, I think it's safe to assume that he does have the vow
Vow
with the
that we saw.
conditions that were established, which is that he can be out for 1 minute and he will not kill anyone while he's out, which I'm like, I'm really curious to see, like, because he even brought that up himself, which I think is strange. I'm gonna say, don't worry, I won't kill anybody. Like, then what do you want to be out for? Like, what are you gonna do? I'm very curious.
Yeah, especially since he also he also talked about how he can't, if he breaks it, it's like the worst thing that curses can do. And so now I'm just like, damn, what happens?
Because he didn't properly come out in the fight with Minami, right? It was that by going into his domain, Minami's power, like, touched Sukuna's soul, and that was enough for him to, like, get blowback damage. Is that what happened? Like, I'm not even totally sure what happened there.
That's why it's murky for me. Because I'm like, I thought the condition was he had to say, like, enchant or enchain, something like that, in order for Sukuna to come. And, like, none of that has happened, but I feel like we've seen instances of Sukuna's powers without that. So I'm, like, a little murky there with that.
Yeah, because
that's hard.
They had, like, a clash, and Minami, from his perspective, it was like he saw Sukuna in there for a second, and Sukuna was like, don't fucking look at me, right? And then he said, if you look at me again, like, you're gonna get fucked up. And then when he broke into the barrier, I thought the implication was, like, by virtue of being in the barrier, Minami looked at Sukuna again. But that, he didn't come out properly. And I think if he had come out properly, Nanami would have been like, hey, this kid turned into that super powerful curse when we told him not to. But that hasn't been discussed. So I don't think that, like, from outside perspective, that anything happened.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in chat said Sukuna's just vibing on the inside. I don't know why that's so funny. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about before we kind of wrap up and give our final thoughts?
No, I think I'm good.
No, I think we covered everything.
Cool. Now is the time for final thoughts and ratings. I super enjoyed this. Rating wise, I'm not sure what I would give it. Probably an 8. I don't think I had any issues with it. I enjoyed it a lot. And I think that it has room to definitely, like, get better. And I obviously, from all of the things that I brought up during this manga pod, I want a lot of clarity on the mechanics of Jujutsu Kaisen, I guess. But but I really liked it, and I like all of the characters. I think that it's going to be really fun, and it got me super hyped to watch the anime for sure. So.
Oh my god, yes.
Episode 1's out, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I'll go next. I give this manga an 8.5. I really enjoyed the characters, and I like the whole framework for the story that's about to be told. I like that it is not afraid of leaning into more graphic violence without being tonally just like too dark. Like it still has an upbeat vibe to it, which keeps the pacing going real quick and smooth. So definitely a good manga. Highly recommend it. I have seen the first episode of the anime, and first episode of the anime was really good.
Great.
Was probably
really good.
It was like right there with the first episode of the Dragon Quest anime as being like the hypest things I was looking forward to.
Nice.
And both of them were really good. So
sick.
So good.
But I love the manga. Like so far, 8.5 out of 10. I'm looking forward to reading more because I think that the story is only going to get more compelling going forward.
I will go next unless you want to go, Lawrence.
For you.
Okay. If I hadn't liked the characters as much as I like them, I would have given it a 7. But all the characters really grew on me. The story was really solid, so I'm gonna go with an 8 for what we read. Yeah, pretty much what everybody else said. I really like the characters. They grew on me a lot. The mechanics I want to know more about because it's so interesting. But yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts.
I'm gonna give it a special grade for being really great. I think if you think about it, in 34 chapters, it's covered like a ton of ground. And I think if you think of other like manga titles in 4 volumes, I don't think you're getting kind of as many incredible fights as we've gotten here, or like such a wide cast of characters that are kind of integral to the plot. So I think in terms of that, really high score because the pacing's great and we're just seeing a lot of shit happen a lot of the time. And knowing where it goes after this, I can say it only gets better because you really do get explanation for a lot of the systems and cooler fights and really a lot of the mysteries that you're having. Some are solved for you. So,
Yay!
big score for me, and the anime is so good.
Addendum.
Yes.
We talked about it earlier, but I do like that it's also not afraid to borrow from other series and turning it into its own thing.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things that'll make you be like, man, this reminds me of X show or series.
This whole MangaPod, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah. But then it like having it they do their own twist on it, so it doesn't feel like a hey, here's my homework, change like a couple words, turn it in.
Yeah. It has its own vibe for sure, while having like pulling from lots of different things. Yeah, I would agree. Cool. Well, that's going to wrap up our discussion on Jujutsu Kaisen, chapters 1 through 34. I think we should definitely revisit this and read more of it. I think we all enjoyed it.
Yes.
Yeah. So now what we're going to do, Lou, did you want to read it? I have it up if not. The summary for next week's manga.
I'll read it.
Okay. So what we're going to do next is Lou is going to read a summary for the manga that we're going to read next time. He's going to leave out some keywords, and all y'all in chat get to guess what you think that it is.
Okay. So Blank has a simple dream: to live a happy, peaceful life, spending time with a girl he likes. This is a far cry from reality, however, as Blank is forced by the Yakuza into killing Blank in order to pay off his crushing debts. Using his pet Blank, Pochita, as a weapon, he is ready to do anything for a bit of cash. That's it.
The Welconator said, Chainsaw Man, baby! Yes, correct.
Yeah.
What chapters are we reading, Lou?
We are reading chapters 26 to 48.
Perfect. So yeah, another good, like, accessible, sort of spoopy, weird manga for us to read. If you haven't read Chainsaw Man before, or if you would like to watch our first MangaPod on it, I believe it's on Happily Aaron's channel, which is a very easy way for us to go into the shout-out section. And I'll talk about Aaron first because she's lovely and we adore her. You can find her at Happily Aaron on everything. She has unified branding. What a queen. And she has been working tirelessly on a book that is done, that she is like figuring out how to publish and get out to the people now. So very proud of her. And yeah, she talks about Thai dramas and mental health awareness stuff and all sorts of lovely things. So be sure to go and check her out. And yeah, her youtube.com/happilyaron is where you can find all of the previous MangaPods. So, yeah, if you would like to go ahead and see that. I am Dodger. You can find me at DexBonus on almost everything. Not entirely unified branding, but I try. And I stream almost every day. I'm a variety streamer, and I would love it if you would come and hang out. So thank you guys so much.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Lou, and you can find me on insert platform, and then you take my name, you add a verb, and then something related to the platform. So on Twitter, I'm Lou Talks Anime. On Twitch, I'm Lou Plays Games. And yeah, I have an Instagram too, but I'm not plugging that. It's fine. That's mostly private. But anyways, I tried streaming the debates last week, and my rig couldn't handle just screen capturing from YouTube, which is concerning. So I'm gonna figure that out. But I do want to start streaming again. I found my capture card. I found my stream deck.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, it's just little things, but I want to get back into streaming, and I do want to go stream chess again, because that was fun.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of chess with one of my friends, and it's been a good time. So yeah, just follow me on Twitter. That's at LuTalksAnime.
Moeka?
My turn? Okay. Hello, I'm Moeka. I try not to talk over people, but sometimes I just get too excited. You can find me at Mega Moeka pretty much on everything. I also do variety streaming. I tend to do more weeby games. If you enjoy Sinnoh Alice, I've gotten into Genshin Impact. So if you want to see me try to figure that out, you can go to twitch.tv/megamoeka. And I pretty much use my VTuber a lot because I don't like being on camera.
Hell yeah. And our lovely guest, Lawrence!
Me? Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me, by the way. This was really fun. So I'm Lawrence. You could find me pretty much across social media as Slither Up, one word, like what a snake does, but in the upwards direction. And I mostly just talk about Dragon Quest, if I'm being honest with you. I'll occasionally talk about manga and anime, but I do a lot of that for my job, so I try not to do it too much on my personal. Marketing pitch, please read chapters 1 through 7 of Jujutsu Kaisen for free on the Shonen Jump app, by the way, if you liked what we talked about today. It's available for you.
Delightful.
That's my marketing spiel. Other than that, yeah, Slither Up. I'll just talk about Dragon Quest, like my cool Dragon Quest headphones.
Oh my gosh,
oh my God,
I didn't realize that's what those
love-
were. Amazing.
Yeah, I love the slimes from Dragon Quest so much. They're so precious,
cute.
my babies.
Stop. Oh my god.
Like, all I care about in life.
Lawrence, you were so fun. Thank you so much for joining us for this.
Thank you.
And hopefully we can
My
do more
pleasure.
Jujutsu
This was
Kaisen and you can come back. And
Yeah,
not have to
Yeah,
hold
I
back
will.
so much because you have critical knowledge that we do not about the series. You can finally let the
Then
floodgates
My house
open a
is
little, maybe.
big. Yeah, I was like, oh, what happened in the first 34? I have to try to remember.
For those of you who don't know, MangaPod has a Twitter and Instagram. We technically have a subreddit, but we've been moving a lot of like what we used the subreddit for over to Discord. We have a Discord now, and so we would love it if you would join all that stuff, support us on the social medias, and come hang out with the community. And we always have whatever manga we're reading posted on there and all of that sort of stuff. So, yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Is there anything I missed, guys?
No, I think we're good.
No, I think we got it.
Amazing.
Yay! We did a breakdown while Aaron was gone.
Yay, we did it! Thank you all. Have an amazing day. We'll see you in a week talking about Chainsaw Man. Take care and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.